Hey guys, so here it is, Earth Reborn Scenario 9, the last scenario. So you'll build the map the same as I have set up here, and then character placement, the Norads had to be outside, and then the Salemites could only have, or had to have, 2 players per floor. So that's what I've done. So the new things we're learning in this scenario is different floors, so staircases, how they behave, and also the combination order. So we know that black you can only use during the activation round, and then red and gold you can use for interrupt. It turns out you can use gold to combine orders, and that's different depending on which ones you use. And it's going to be very difficult for me to use it in the game. So I'll give you an idea. So if, let's say, Vasquez had already been activated, I suppose shoot makes more sense. So Vasquez and the Mammoth have both already been activated, and I've had those order tiles assigned to them. And then James Wu decides to shoot someone. Now, supposing that Vasquez and the Mammoth both have line of sight to that same person, they can do a combined shoot order, as they have gold on a shoot symbol. So they need to have the line of sight to the same person, and then what happens is that all they roll targeting individually, and then all the damage will be canned on at once. So you won't. So whatever James Wu's hits, they're added to Vasquez's, then added to Mammoth's, and then that cumulative total will go up against the defense. So it can create some very hard hits, and it's probably the only way to take out the Mammoth from the Salemite's perspective. So that's how you do shoot, so you need line of sight to the same person. For close combat, all the characters who want to do a combined order, first off need a gold knife, and you don't get to attach multiple order tiles. The order tile already has to be attached to the characters who you want in on the combined, and then any color can be used by this guy. So if the Mammoth and James Wu were adjacent to the same character, James Wu could use this, and the Mammoth, you could choose to combine with the Mammoth to use his close combat. And again, cumulative, and then you put that up against the armor. Now for close combat, because you have to be adjacent to an opponent, meaning his inner arc there will be being attacked from different directions, the defender will get to choose which arc he wants to roll for. Most likely dark blue, but maybe he wants the safe automatic hits as well. In terms of movement, you don't. There's no real credentials for that. Movement, if one player moves and somebody else has a gold movement, they can just move. You don't need to be anywhere near each other. The only reason the example the book gives why combined move would really be helpful is if it leads to either like a combined close combat or a combined shoot immediately afterwards, or to get through like locked doors, right? So you can hit, both characters can move through, and at the end of a round this closes, right? So if only one has a key card, you can both get through, and then the door would close. So close combat, interact. So certain floor tiles, for instance, have, that's a bad example. Infirmary, there we go. Have these stances and then something that can be produced by it. So basically any character who stands on this stand is standing on those squares with the right facing. They can join in on a combined interact, and so they'll have to spend 1 command point as well, and they'll get to make this, and they'll get to add on their science and so forth rolls towards that damage. Something that the rules do specify is in the event where it takes two command points. There's no examples here. There's the SATCOM room, but that can only be accessed by 1 person. But basically, anyone who's combining only needs to spend 1 on an interact, regardless of what the iconography says. So the activated character, the character you're using, does have to spend the amount given, but anybody else helping out only needs to spend 1. Each additional die, of course, add an additional die to that. Movement, shoot, search. Search is pretty self-explanatory, and yeah, I think that's all of them. Cool, so if I missed any, hopefully I'll catch it before the end of the scenario and include it later. In terms of storyline, we are at the Salemite's home base, and the Norad has found it. It's a secret home base with tons of underground layers, and so they are invading it, and it's going to be a massive game. Over here we have the win condition, so the Norad is just trying to trash this place. Destroy the chem lab, zombie lab, communication room, SATCOM, and ventilation. Now the ventilation is this thing here, and exclusive to this scenario, if this thing gets destroyed because it's in charge of keeping the air cool, the basement, so anyone downstairs, during final phases will receive 1 wound just because they're too hot and not enough oxygen is getting to them in their underground section there. So while we're talking about stairs, how they work, they're just unique in that, like, how's close combat work, right? So all it is movement. If I'm here, I can spend 1 movement to move to the, the same tile on a different thing. So the connecting stairs from here to here. If somebody's standing here and somebody's standing here, close combat, you get to choose which dark blue, or which dark blue. You get to choose which arc you want to attack from. Or be attacked by, so you get to choose that. If you're shooting from one stair to the other, then you do have line of sight, but you only get to use your orange arc. And yeah, I think that. Oh, and then explosion. So if the main detonation, the red damage is on the staircase, will it go through to here, and it will also do red damage to this square. So only if the red dice is done here, will it also be done here. And that's as far as the explosion will spread to another floor. Okay, so cool. So the Salemites do have initiatives. I guess I'll explain some of the strategy here. So first off, I wanted the Mammoth to break this door and this wall to give the Norads double access. So that's why he's there. And they had to be placed on outdoor spaces, and this is the only outdoor space. So that explains why it's so tight there. They need to, on this floor, for points, if they destroy the comm room and this air conditioner, then they're gold. Or the ventilation system, I should say. So then they get a lot of points from this floor. The Mammoth isn't allowed to leave this floor. So I've pretty much given up on these two and have decided that, yeah, to try and catch the players here on different floors. So over here I have Frank Einstein and Jess Hollister, who are in the armory. And the reason why that is because they don't have any weapons. And the only way the Salemites are scoring points is by killing off these characters. And so to make that easier, I have them both in the armory. I think Frank Einstein has the key. No, Jess Hollister has the key, and they're both just in here and will be searching, trying to get guns and equipment for the rest of their team. And they're in here, one, because you can get guns from the armory, right? Because it's a gun icon. And 2, it gives you an extra search die. So that's why they're both in here, and they're fairly close to the upstairs and downstairs staircase. Over here I have Jeff Dealer and Jack Saw. Jeff Dealer, I wanted him near the office to search as well. And I wanted to make sure he had line of sight to Jack Saw, though, to trigger his ability, which will give Jack Saw a zombie 2 extra command points to spend this turn above his max CP. So that's what I was doing there, and then Jack Saw, all I want is for him to get upstairs to try and help out there. And then over here we have Kendall, who's going to be creating zombies. Then over here we have Cherokee Bill, who's locked in the safe room. Now the reason I did that, and I might be a little paranoid, but I don't want the Norads taking over him and destroying something easily. So I've locked him up instead. And basically, yeah, he gets 2 extra search dice, so I'm just going to keep searching. I didn't give him a key card. So it'll be hard. It would be almost silly for the Norad players to take control of them because they can't do anything with them. So they'd be wasting 2 command points. So I was really proud of this placement because Kendall does have a key. So if ever Cherokee Bill picks up anything worthwhile, he can come get it and then maybe hook it onto one of the zombies he creates. So that's my plan there. And other than that, I think we're good to go. So the Salemite gets to go first. And the first thing I'm going to do, I don't want them getting 2 spy points off of Frank Einstein. So I'm going to start off by activating him. And his job right now is to search. So we're going to attach a search, and the draw was very good. I didn't mulligan. I think I'll save the 4 search for Jessica Hollister. Let's use 2 search. Yeah. We'll see how that goes. So I'm going to add 2 dice here. Should I be okay, no, just in case it ends up happening, I'll try and get Jess Hollister and Frank Einstein to end up with gold guns so that maybe they can do a combined shoot. I can show you what that looks like. So here's a spyglass or search that's also worth 2, but comes with that fancy gun. So 2 on search. So in the case of Frank Einstein, we get 3 default search points. The additional will give me 1 more die. And then for being in the armory, I will get 1 more die. So 2 dice on top of 3 automatic search points. And we're looking for guns. We need something to kill Norads. So I do have a spy point. Now because I'm on Salemite turf and I'm playing as a Salemite right now, that can't be used as mission points. But it can be used to go through here and check out both sides of the cards. But I've got 6 points to work with. So, what do I want to do? I'm still not sure the best way to do this. Do I check the 3 cards? No, I won't check this one. I don't know what's on the back, but I'm going to use one of my 6 to pass it. So I have 5 left. Something I could do would be to plant this to try and stop the mammoth. However, it can be turned off. It can be turned off the same way it was turned on, I believe. No, it can't. I'm sorry, it can't. Nobody knows how to turn this thing off. It's a plastic explosive. It's wired to blow. So that might not be a bad choice. 4 dice up against Mammoth, 6 armor. No, it's not worth it. I'm going to pass on this too, so I have 4 search points left. Here we have a saber, which doesn't do much for us either. So I'm going to search on this. We have 3 search points left. Yes, and we got a gun. So this is what I was looking for. 3 search points left, and I'll use those to take... Actually, before I do that, so I have 3 search points left, a shuffle left, and a spy point. I'm going to use the spy point first to figure out what I have access to here. Geez, so I want all of these. I really do. Not that. And I don't want the Norads getting that. So I really want all of these. I'm going to have a look over here at what rooms they are close to, because I don't want them just running and picking up something easily. So they're close to living quarters. So I'm actually going to put the gun on top, because the Norads already have guns, so they'll be less tempted to take it, and they won't know what I'm hiding here. So I'll do that. And I'll put this one on top, and then with my 3 search points, so I use my spy point to look and organize the top 3. Now with my last 3 search points, I'm going to take this, and that'll be attached to Frank Einstein. It's a good weapon. The only downside is the limited ammo. Cool. And then I'll skip on the shuffling, because I actually like what's on top here. To clarify, I just said I'd skip on the shuffling. As soon as you take a card, it's over. You don't get to use any more spy points or any more search points. You end your search, so I'm sorry about that. So I wouldn't be able to use it regardless, and luckily I don't want to. So a great turn by Frank Einstein, doing what he is supposed to. Over here on the Norad side, I think the right thing to do, right, is to get them in. So we're going to activate the Mammoth, and we're going to try to use his special ability to blow up the wall. Will I attach an order tile? No, he can't really, he's so big, right? So it costs a point. I blow this up, cost a point to turn him, and then 1 to move, another point to turn him. So basically I can get him inside here. He'd still be stepping on people. So for now, I'm not going to. I'm just going to spend a command point on his special ability. 3 dice, 4 damage, and it's the red arc, so I'll be blowing up this large door and this adjacent small wall. Right, so you can only hit adjacent things, and they are side by side, so it will work if we get the numbers, and we do. So 7, and even though this has a 6 damage on it, his special effect is that it only takes 4. Now there's nothing covering here, so we don't need a broken thing marker, but here we do, so that'll use up one of his, technically I guess, ammo counters, so one of his limited breaking wall actions. Okay, cool, and I'll just move this out of the game. So that'll be it for the Norads, and we had to do that just to let them in. Okay, so up next, I'm not too, oh, you know what? I always forget how much Nick Bolter can do in a turn. He's got that 7, right? So he can really run around. So I'm going to save Jessica Hollister from moving for now. And I will go to Jack Saw can stay as well. I'm just gonna activate. I'm gonna do the easy ones. Cherokee Bill. I know I'm gonna be searching with them, and I'll use this one here because he's locked in that safe. So activating him, attaching an order tower. I'll spend 2 on search. So for him, that means 4 search points. The additional will give him 1 black die, and then the room he's in, the small zone here, gives him another 2. So we're at 4 so far, plus, man, if only those could be mission points. So plus another 3, so 7, and then 2 spy points. So I'm in a bit of a spot. Do I decide I really want this? Or do I take a chance and keep looking? What I'm gonna do is I'll use 1 spy point and I'll get a look. I know the top 2, but I don't know the back of this 3rd one. And I'll also get to see that. So the back of this is what? Smoke grenade. I'm not that interested in. It's cool to have. Rather than the zombie serum, I'll put this face up because Kendall's gonna be fine creating zombies, I think. And that's really all I can do. So I used 1 of my spy points, and now I'm going to use 2 of my search, and because I'm going to use it to take the card, that'll end the search. Or should I take the armor? No, we'll do this. I decided to do this, so I'll stick with it. The only reason why I don't like the armor out there is that it's ripe for the picking right now by the Norad side, by leaving it up there. Okay. And that's it. So now over to the Norad side. Vasquez actually really likes to look at that armor, so I'm gonna get her to try and swipe it. All she has to do is step into this room and make a reasonable roll. Not even a good one, just a reasonable roll. How's James Wu's defense? Oh, the same as Vasquez's. Okay, so maybe we'll give it to James Wu then. So I'll get James Wu to move and then search. Show me move and search. Move and search. This one it is. So activating him, spend 1 point on movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's as far as he can move. Now he is in the room still. And I'll spend, well, I need to spend 2. Yeah, I only get 2 dice, best to make sure. So I get 2 dice plus this extra, so 3 dice. And I'm just looking for 2 search points so I can pick this up because I am in the living quarters. So I do have enough, but similar to the Salemite player, I'll use this for a mission point. So I'll spend this to get a mission point. Do that right now. Putting the Norad in the lead, just because they're not going to use it because they're happy with this armor. And that'll be attached to James Wu. I'll put it directly on him just because the only information that matters is shown at the bottom here. Great. So a good turn for the Norads. James Wu just got a lot stronger. Okay, on the Salemite side, I wasn't sure if the Norads were going to make it to me. I don't think they are anymore. So I'm going to search with Jessica Hollister. I'll use this one here maybe. Because I know I don't like the next card, so I'll be able to do some digging with this. And I'll spend 4. We'll really go for it, and we'll explore the deck. So the first one will give me the 4 search points, the additional 3 dice. Then I'm standing in the armory, so 1 more die. So 4 dice on top of 4 points. So 4 points, 7 points, 9 points, then 2 spy points. So I know this card, I'm going to pass on it. I really want guns. So there's 1 of my search points gone. I'm going to count search points gone. 2. I can't remember what's on the back of ammunition. Okay, we'll use our first spy point to look at these 3 cards. Flamer. And there's a gun. So we'll more than likely be taking that. Motion detector is kind of cool. Ammunition saves you a command point, essentially, right? So that's why I'm looking at that. I don't want them running past me with these smoke grenades, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to use my next spy point to bury this, or my next search point. I'm going to use another search point to bury this. I'm going to use one more spy point, so one more chance to see some guns. So this is my second search point. There's one. Not the knife. Okay, great. So I'm just lining myself up with guns for my other characters. And so I'll use my remaining, I think I have about 5 search points left, and I'll take this gun. And that'll be the end of it. And this will be attached to Jess Hollister, who now has also gained the ability, the crucial ability, to be able to shoot at these incoming mosh of people. So the greatest find really for the Salemites would be if they could just find that bazooka, and that's really what we're hoping for. Good turn though, so we're getting geared up. They know they have to kill, whereas the Norads just need to destroy, so I would say they have a much easier time. Okay. Vasquez hasn't been activated. If they could get to either of those. She doesn't have a gun. That's something I didn't notice. So she can get to here, she can get that gun, pick it up easily. If she gets to here, she can't. I made it so that she doesn't have easy access to Frank Einstein, who's in the back. Okay, yeah, let's get Vasquez a gun. She's not a good up-close soldier, so I'll just have her running through here and doing some close combat. So movement and close combats. Three movement. We'll do this one. So activate her. I'll spend my first movement point. That'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I'm trying to get to this room, I'll end my movement as close as possible. Now I'll do a close combat on that door, and I need to do 3 damage. So I spend 2. I get 2 automatic damage here from the first one, then the next one will let me strike hard and get 1 more die to hopefully get 1 damage. Perfect. So this door is destroyed. It's not covering anything, so I'll just remove it from the game. Now I'm going to spend a second command point to get more movement, so another 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 to open the door. And then 1 more to get me in there. And 1. And she's hoping, so she'll end her movement there, turn around on her facing. This door will close because her turn's done. She's hoping that that gun will still be there for her to search for it next turn. Okay, so we're searching, we're getting geared up. James Wu is going to race her for it, is what's going to happen. They don't have movement though, so let's buy some more order tiles. So we'll spend a point. Salemites again, order tile, and we just need some movement because we don't have any. So there's a bit. Enough. Okay. Over here we have Nick Bolter left to be activated, and I think it's going to be him and James Wu I'm going to send to try and destroy the communication room to get them 5 points. So we're looking for some good movement. This is really good movement. Let's do this. So activating Nick Bolter, attaching that. We'll do 1 command point for 5 movement, and we'll do this 1 at a time. I won't count ahead. So I want to get to here. So the fastest way is through this way. It's probably about the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another command point on movement, the same order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this red one here. 1, 2, and now I gave myself a shot, and I'm going to try and use it. So I'm going to spend 1 command point on this shoot order, and so we check for line of sight, and it's there. I'm just shooting at this door here, and then I get to roll 1 die, 2 die for targeting. I don't even need to roll because the door is technically on this space, so I don't actually have to roll for that. It's on the same space. So I'll skip that to avoid running out of ammo, and I'll get 3 dice to try and get 4 damage. So we got it. So 5 damage, and this isn't covering anything, so I'll remove it from the game. So Nick Bolter is in, and I guess I could spend more movement, but they're all activated, and I can always come back to it. So I'll end his turn there, because there's nothing else really for him to do. Okay. Over here we did get a bit of movement, but we're going to need a bit more than that. So we'll draw another order tile, unfortunately. Okay, I've got a new plan. Okay, so these guys, Vasquez is at a max CP. The Mammoth is in a bit of a bad spot. We'll leave him out back for now. And let's get James Wu up and close. Let's get some movement on him. And I'll get 5 movement points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm not going to use this. Instead, I'm going to destroy it for the 5 points. So I need to get 4 damage. And just to show you guys how it works, I'll do a combined shoot order with Nick Bolter. And I'm able to do that because Nick Bolter also has line of sight to the device, to the room or the device I'm trying to destroy. And he also... Oh, no, I used it! He also had the shoot order, so I'm sorry, I can't use it. But had this not been used, he could have helped me out to destroy this. So instead, I'll just get James Wu on it, and this is its own space, so I will have to roll for targeting, except his light bolter gives him 2 automatic spaces, so targeting goes through. And now for damage, I get 2 dice plus 1 additional. Had Nick Bolter been helping me out, he would have also had to do the roll for targeting, and then if successful, he would have added 3 dice to this roll. Instead, I just get my default, my 2 plus my 1, so 3. And we needed 4 damage, we got 5, and so this room is destroyed. So I'll put a big ol' explosion marker to show it can't be used. And then, in terms of Norad objectives, the comm room is worth 5, so we'll move them up 5 more. Okay. So the Salemites actually have this really cool thing that I just noticed at the end of last turn. I'm going to activate Jacksaw. I'm going to attach this order tile to him, and he's going to try and destroy Vasquez. So I'll spend 1 on movement, keeping in mind he does have a key card. So for my 1 movement, I can get to here. 2nd movement, and then 3rd movement to open the door. So they're face to face. Vasquez can't interrupt because she's at her max CP. And then I'm going to spend 4 on close combat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So for Jack's close combat is 4 dice, and I got 3 additional. So he's going to get 7 dice up against Vasquez's 3 armor. Plus dark blue, so 5. So 7 dice against 5 defense, and we'll see if he can take her down. 5 defense, 7 dice. Here we go. Good roll. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I get to re-roll 1. So I'm at 8, 9. So 9 up against 5. He will do 4 damage to her. So 3 on this side, so flip over, and we'll do 1 wound. to her injured side. Keep in mind she's not in that much trouble. She does have a med kit on her, and it's a science roll, and her science is very good. So she's not over and done with or anything like that. Great turn for Jacksaw, and that'll end his turn as well. So over here for the Norads. Well, we could have. I don't like Jacksaw that close to Vasquez, because if they kill Vasquez, the Salemites are going to get 5 points. And so I'm just trying to think who's going to be. Do I send James Wu in as the hero, or do I send Nick Bolter in as the hero? And I mean, they're both pretty heroic people. Let's do Nick Bolter for now. So I'll attach this to him, and I'll spend 1 on movement. So he does have line of sight as activated, and he's not going to interrupt. 1, 2, 3. How close do I want to get to this guy? Let's surround him. 4, so I'm adjacent now, and he can interrupt again, but he won't. He knows he's not going to die, and he's not going to run away from Vasquez, so he won't interrupt. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 2 on the shoot order. And that'll give me 3 dice for the red damage zone, but first we have to do targeting, so 1 die, so 2 dice, gotta make it 1 space. This means no matter the distance, it would have gone through so long as I have line of sight, and you're not rolling targeting unless you have line of sight. So it's definitely going through, and I get 3 dice, and I spent 2 though, so I'll get 4. So 4 dice up against Jacksaw's armor of only 2. So 4 minus that 2, he's going to take 2 damage. 2 damage onto Jacksaw. And that's a pretty good turn. Now Jacksaw, because of Jeff Dealer's bonus, can still take another command point. So I'm going to have him do a close combat on Vasquez. But first I have to activate all my characters. Close combat, move and search. I want Jeff Dealer to get that gun, but this door is locked, and the close combat that we have doesn't have movement. It has a high shoot value that I don't want to waste. So let's do an interact with John Kendall instead. No, I want to save this. We're gonna keep drawing, unfortunately. Sorry guys. So we're gonna draw another tile. I want to save the interact for Kendall. I want to save the high close combat for Jackson in case he doesn't manage to kill Vasquez. He's in a good position to do so next round. And we drew one actually with a good selection. Norads, what are you up to? James Wu's at his max. Vasquez at her max. 7 over here. Nick Bolt is at his max. So if we're doing anything, it's with the Mammoth. It would be nice to get him in the building. I should have somebody come back and destroy this so that he doesn't have to. For now though, because I don't have any ore tiles, they will also be drawing. So some movement, which is good, and some shoot. Okay, so I can finally show you Jeff Dealer. What we're going to do is activate him. We will attach that order tile I just grabbed. We're going to do a close combat. Now I want to make sure it works. So I'm going to spend, I get 2 dice, I need 2 damage. Okay, so I'll get 3 dice to be sure.